Hi guys, just want to go over this web page with you. It's really good. It's from the Media Codes website, which has some fantastic material on there. And this is about how to write about media codes. By the way, this is from the movie Arrival. It's a great film. Definitely worth watching. Right, so let's have a look. Knowing about media codes isn't enough. Zoom in a bit. It is just one part in discussing how they work within media products. When writing about media products, you are writing about the way you have noticed codes being used for a particular effect. Knowing media language and terminology helps you be more specific in describing what you notice. A full analysis of how codes are used in a media product includes the following 4 elements: contention, observation, connotation, audience. A simple analysis to the above frame from a media product is: in Arrival, 2017, Villeneuve uses camera work to give the alien a foreboding presence. When showing the aliens in contrast with Louis Banks, Villeneuve, spelled that wrong there, uses a long, low camera angle shot in order to have a full body shot of both characters. The use of this shot highlights just how much larger the alien is compared to Banks. That's the character, Louise Banks as the character. As the use of the low angle has the figure towering over her. This adds distrust of the aliens and has the audience see Banks as vulnerable. This tension adds to the thriller aspect of the film. Okay, so let's break it down. Contention. The contention of the analysis is your headline for what the media producer succeeded or not in their media product using media code. So, from that paragraph above, in Arrival, Villeneuve uses camera work to give the alien a foreboding presence. So this contention sets up what the rest of the paragraph will be about. Let's break it down to see what's happening. Okay, in Arrival, 2017, Villeneuve uses. The name of the media product should generally be put into quotes or underlined with the year of release in brackets afterwards. It's always a good idea to name the producer or creator of the media product and know how to spell it too. You spelled it wrong. Use the phrase Villeneuve uses puts the analysis in an active voice. Uses. Villeneuve is doing something instead of a passive voice. I think it's hilarious because he actually spelled it wrong there and he said that you got to spell it right. Camera work. He uses, so Villeneuve uses camera work. It is important to name the code you are describing. You could also be more specific than this in your contention if you wish, saying that the director uses a long camera shot, for instance, to give the alien a foreboding presence. So the sentence, Villeneuve uses camera work to give the alien a foreboding presence. This is what specifically the use of the code has done. This outcome should be short, as you would expand on it later, but shouldn't be so general that it doesn't say anything. Observation. So that was contention, now observation. Analysis of a media product will include some kind of observation or description of the code. The observation could be seen as the denotation section of the analysis. So denotation means just stating what is. Okay, denotation states what is. Connotation states what is implied as opposed to just what is. For example, a red rose might imply romance. Whereas a red rose, the denotation of a red rose is, well, it's a rose and it's red. Anyway, let's keep going. So, when showing the aliens in contrast with Louise Banks, did I say Louis Banks before? I meant Louise. In contrast with Louise Banks, Villeneuve uses a long, low camera angle shot in order to have a full body shot of both characters. Right, so when showing the aliens in contrast with Louise Banks, so that part there. So analysis needs to include some kind of context for what we are observing. This may include how the characters are related, where in the narrative the analysis or the information about the media product itself, such as what the genre of the product is. However, be careful to stick to what's important to the analysis and don't get trapped into just retelling the narrative. That's so important. Do the analysis, not just retelling the narrative. Always use the names of characters, not actors, except if you're discussing the acting, of course, and know how to spell their names. Villeneuve uses a long, low camera angle shot in order to have a full body shot of both characters. So, Villeneuve uses, again, keeps the analysis in active voice, so it's present tense, I suppose. When doing observation, use the media terminology. The use of media terminology is crucial. Here is your chance to show off your vocabulary. Go into lots of detail. Okay, next one. Connotation, the opposite of denotation. The connotation is the meaning that is attached to the denotation that you have observed. Here you are answering why the decision was made to use the media code in the way described. So you've described the media code, and now you're going to show the connotation of it. The use of this shot highlights just how much larger the alien is compared to Banks, as the use of the low angle has the figure towering over her. So that's the connotation. How much larger the alien is compared to Banks, figure towers over her. So that's just a break there. So notice how each part of the observation's connotations are explained. The use of the long shot is used as a tool of comparison between the characters, and the use of a low angle is so the alien is towering over Banks. Right, next. Audience. It is a good idea to connect any analysis to the code's effect on the audience. This usually frames the use of the code to the broader ideas of the media product. When discussing the effect on the audience, often you are discussing the use of form, story, or genre conventions. Okay. When media products use or subvert these conventions, which means pretty much show the opposite. Sorry, I'll start that again. When media products use or subvert these conventions, adds to the understanding or relationship with their audience. I think that's badly written. When media products use or subvert these conventions, adds to their understanding or relationship with their audience. Oh well, I think you get the idea. I hope so. Next part. This adds distrust of the aliens and has the audience see Banks as vulnerable. This tension adds to the thriller aspect of the film. Okay. So this part, this adds distrust to the aliens and has the audience see Banks as vulnerable, meaning this part is connecting this shot to the idea of character and relationship between characters. This shot asks the audience to be put themselves in the place of the protagonist and how they would feel, so they connect with Banks. So how would you feel if you were that person looking up at the alien? Where are we? Okay. This tension adds to the thriller aspect of the film. Another way to connect to the effect on the audience is whether it fits in with the expectations of the media product's genre. So meaning that the genre is sci-fi, and the genre is it? It's not a tension. There's a bit of a thriller aspect. No, but it's really just a sci-fi. So how does the effect of the audience, so let's start that again. Another way to connect to the effect on the audience is whether it fits in with the expectations of the media products genre. Anyway, let's just keep going. It might explain it better more down here. Other ways to discuss audience is whether the code helps to establish characters, genre, or storylines, what feeling it elicits in the audience, or whether it helps the audience understand the plot of the media product. Okay. It is also possible here to discuss how different audiences may read the codes in different ways. Are the codes used in such a way that an audience may understand or read it a certain way, whilst other audiences may take away something completely different? Other tips. The 4 aspects of the analysis may not appear in that exact order, but should appear somewhere in there. A more complex analysis will ask you to describe multiple media codes in the same media product. So I hope that is interesting, and yeah, well, I hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching, and thanks for getting to the end of the video. I hope I didn't butcher it up too much. Catch you later.